Hello, everybody. We are live. My name is Bahzad.
My name is Risa.
And we are the founders of Wonder Looper. And we are bringing to you today our weekly live stream, broadcasting live from Yokohama, Japan, from our showroom, our headquarters. It all happens right here. And we're going to be answering your questions live, previewing some new products, maybe new fabrics, new developments, stuff, answering your questions, getting into little off-topic categories. It's going to be a heck of a show, right?
Sure.
There you go. The enthusiasm is overwhelming here.
Still early.
It's a little early here in Japan, but that's okay. We got to get our day started. It's Monday for us, Sunday evening for many of you. We're just getting off the weekend, though we were in yesterday meeting with one of our newest retail partners to come in Germany, in Hamburg, the great city of Hamburg. Thomas E. Punkt will be carrying Wonder Looper in the fall of 2026. So we're expanding out a little bit more in Europa land. So that was a big thing.
Mm-hmm. I like that store. They
Yeah.
have a very good, great history.
Yeah.
It's like family business. They make stuff. They sell stuff. They pretty much have all the cool things that's in Hamburg
Right.
combined.
All combined.
Yeah.
Thomas E. Punkt. If you are in Hamburg, you definitely want to check it out. And even we have a great history with them as well. We've worked with them for very, very many years. So we're happy that they were here in Yokohama, got to visit us, and we got to expand our distribution just a little bit. So anyhow, that's a little update there. And now let's check in with the crowd, check in with the audience, see where everybody is tuning in from. We've got Jason Scott, Mr. Scott, looking forward to the show. Still pretty chilly here in England, chilling in my old green Super Looper sweatsuit. Fantastic. That was a great color. And anyway, we have a new green this season coming up. We'll talk about the release. We have the Super Looper release coming next week, say around this time, or at basically this time. So we'll be talking about what's coming very soon. CYC is in the house. Hello from Canada. The Great White North is in the house. Good to see you. We've got Melody Murray. Hello from Tucson. Wearing my FoxFibre Tsuriami t-shirt in Coyote today. Looking forward to next week's drop. We are too. And that's a great t-shirt. And just FYI, if you're coming to visit our showroom anytime soon, the boxes behind us and some that have already been put away, FoxFibre's in the house.
Yeah.
FoxFibre Tsuriami is in the house.
Well, the t-shirts in Fox 15,
70,
and Iron Mordant 70, they're all here.
Yeah. So this is the first restock of the Fox 15 and the Iron Mordant.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. So if you missed out in the fall, we've got them back again. It it takes a while to get these restocked. So those are here in the warehouse. They are not going to be part of next Monday's release.
Nope.
They will be part of like the release after that. So like we're just trying to basically a lot more inventories coming in, and then we will start shipping that out to our retail partners once we have like a good amount of it. Mm-hmm. And then we'll set up another release sometime in May for that one.
Right.
But in the meantime, if you're visiting Yokohama, we have some stuff.
Yeah.
We have some stuff. It's our most packed our warehouse has been in a while, that's for sure. We've got Crown and Seven saying hello from a rainy but warming Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Have a great stream. I'll have to catch up in the replay today. Well, we appreciate. It's my.
Excuse me.
Oh, everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
You're checking in, and we've got Sebastian Pilj checking in from Florida, working overnight in the black double heavyweight tee. Good to hear. Good to see you. Shang Styles in the house from Sydney, Australia. Been wearing the ELS recycled tee for a while now. It's so bouncy, and the stretch feels better compared to some other Japanese Tsuriami tees. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. That is a very comfortable shirt. I am also wearing it today. It's starting to get pretty hot here in Japan, so I like to have the relaxed nature of the ELS on the body. But I'm also looking forward to wearing that Ultimate Pima. Mm-hmm. Ultimate Pima is going to be very nice on the body as well. And Stephen Kopelcam, greetings from rainy Wisconsin. Looking forward to the Burgundy crew drop while wearing my sweatshorts. Good to hear it. BD is in the house from Ontario, and he's saying it's warming up slowly. Yukon Salvage checking in from no other than the Yukon. That's right. Still a lot of snow up here, but the swans have arrived as part of the annual migration, which means spring is nearly here.
That's kind of nice.
It's very cool
to learn that spring is here.
Yeah, when the swans arrive, that's fantastic. McChrysler, McIsler, sure. Hello from Nashville. Hello. I had my ringer tees embroidered, so last weekend was my first wears. Very nice and lightweight. Debating what to pick up next. Well, there's a lot of good stuff coming, and I'm glad you're enjoying those ringers. The ringers are very comfortable in the heat, that's for sure. Risa's wearing hers today, as you can see.
I mean, I've been wearing mine very often. Yeah, it's just...
It's an easy one to reach for, that's for sure. Shank Style, after seeing the Naked and Famous interview with the man wearing the 40-ounce denim for the Indigo Invitational, maybe Wonder Looper can interview someone who wears a triple heavyweight tee as a daily tee. Oh, well, I'll tell you something about that individual. That person in that video, Brenton, he has a fairly sizable Wonder Looper collection. Yeah, he likes the heavyweight stuff, that's for sure. We got to meet him at Gerhard this past holiday season. We did an event there in Toronto. We got to see him and a lot of great Wonder Looper supporters in and around the Toronto area. There were, in fact, at that event, there were 2 people wearing the 40-ounce Naked and Famous denim. Right. 2. And I think they only made like 18 or something like that. There wasn't many of them. Yeah. And so having to see 2 of them in one place, that was pretty cool. So yeah.
I took a picture of them together. So I was like, this is never going to happen
And
again.
I think they were both wearing double heavyweight sweatshirts, if I'm not mistaken.
Perhaps, I don't
remember. So anyway, there's a lot of cotton being worn at that in that outfit, that's for sure. Chang Sao says, yeah, Brenton seems super hardcore with the heavyweights. I've tried to winter wear the 20-ounce elephant jacket, but with stretch, definitely feels heavier than 20-ounce jeans format. Yeah, maybe it's just something it's on the top of your body. You know what I mean?
The top is harder to deal with the weight.
Yeah, you definitely feel it more. Notice the oh wait, what's it? React Bill says, notice the behind the threads. Yeah, basically the video for the Ultimate Pima says the GSM was 231, now it's 200 on site. Did they get lighter?
We did change.
There was a bit of a formula construction change.
231. It was a long time ago though.
Yeah.
It's been now. Yeah, maybe we need to do
maybe re-update that video.
Because we did change the tag and like
that's true.
A lot of things. Now we have more colors. Maybe the not this drop, but
the fall drop with the navy. That's probably for the best. That's right. Good noticing that. You know, sometimes we make these videos and like in the double heavyweight videos, like they're still 701 GSM or something like that.
Yes.
So the current double heavyweight.
We'll brush it. It's...
It needs to be updated. Yeah, because the first double heavyweight videos, I think they were 701 GSM, and now they're like 876. So, and they're brushed, and they're rinse washed, and even the Ultimate Pimas are rinse washed now and pre-shrunk. So, yeah, I guess we had a good run of that video.
I know. It's hard though, because it's like, you know, whenever we do a new release, it's like if we have to do a new video for each time we re-release something, then it's gonna get way too much. But then like I don't know.
We every now and then there's some updates here and there. It's true. Yeah. Anyhow, we'll get to updating that video. Yes. Good for noticing that. Yeah. Man, that means we have to redo a lot of things. Anyways, it's okay. It's okay. That's our job. That is our job, and we will do it. There you go.
I also kind of feel sad for like the older videos, like, you know, they're never gonna get the views anymore.
That's true. It does have there's a bit of nostalgia in watching some of those, especially because those are the ones that were shot in our home, and that's sort of where everything started, right? We could reset up at home. Anyhow,
We'll see.
we'll see. Hayes Gray says, I got it. Hayes Gray says, I currently daily wear double heavyweight tees. I have 18 of them, I think.
Whoa.
And I'm finally out of my double heavyweight hoodies into my Super Looper ones for now as it slowly warms up. Well, there you go. That's an impressive daily wear.
Right.
And then Hayes
18 tees.
18 double heavyweight tees, and he says he has 4 triples put away for the fall. So there you go. The triples are, those are hardcore. For the fall, it's easy, definitely much easier to wear in the fall. In the summer, it could be you need some dedication for that one. Yeah. Sebastian Pilj says, hey BNR, watching at 2x speed to catch up. Disregard if you already brought it up, but any news on the Suvin Gold restock?
It should be arriving actually today or something.
Oh, really?
Like that. Yes.
I didn't even know that. Well, there you go.
Well, I think I put it in the calendar. But so this is the second batch of Suvin Gold t-shirts. It's actually coming out very short. We basically made the fabric in one shot and split the production in two. But the yield was so much worse than we expected. So the second batch is much smaller. We were expecting like basically the same amount, but that's not happening. So there's going to be a lot smaller drop. And obviously this batch also through us and Redcast Heritage on availability wise. So, we have to
coordinate.
So they tend to, like, they do their own, photos. Although this is restock, so maybe it's a little bit easier.
It might come out faster.
Yeah, but we're gonna work with them. I just wanted to get things in. Everything is kosher, then we can just move on with them to arrange a date, and we'll release. So it's gonna be a little while, but we will have some stock in here for us, and I just have to divide it up between us.
Yeah, there's a bit of, I would say that like one of the challenges with rinse washing everything is that you lose a lot of yield, like because you have to accommodate for the shrink in the original cut. So you have to cut everything a little bit bigger, so you use a little bit more fabric, and then it shrinks down. Whereas, and then we don't adjust cost based on that, of course. And so, well, I mean, not really, but I would say that in a lot of, I'm not gonna say a lot, but if you're buying an unwashed garment, the yield, the shrinkage isn't, unless it's like a Samfurized garment, which is mostly in wovens, but in like knitwear, like you expect to lose a little bit of amount, and it's just like the person who's going to lose is the consumer, right? And so if you pre-wash it and like this is the size, you have all that factored in right at the beginning. Whereas I guess you can get away with, hey, look at the way this fits, and then you wash it and then it doesn't fit like that anymore. So yeah, it's just something we have to be a little bit more cautious of, because when you calculate the yield, if you do wash tests and fabric tests and things like that, but sometimes things end up a little bit differently.
And each batch of fabric is very different. Sometimes each color performs differently, and so it's kind of like, you open it up and it might, it is very common to not have the perfect fabric, like amount wise. So it is something we gotta work with. This fabric especially has been a little difficult, but at the same time, we'll, trying our very best to hit the target in terms of measurements, and also in the next production we know how much more fabric we need and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll get better at it. I suspect, considering how fast the first batch went, I suspect that this is not helping that we have smaller amount.
Right. However, Ultimate Pima.
Right. Ultimate Pima is available next week.
Yes.
Next week, next Monday, and it's a similar kind of products, and so Ultimate Pima we have a lot. We kind of prepared for this really well. So we'll see.
Well,
Anyways, Suvin Gold, I think we hope, if, especially with the second batch, if they perform well, I personally want to bring it back because it is one of my favorite t-shirts.
Right.
Although I have many, clearly. But yeah, so we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good note that the yield was a little bit shorter this time around. So anyway, we'll know what we get when we get it, and we'll keep you posted on release updates for that. But if you're interested in just an extra long staple high quality Tsuriami knit t-shirt, those are two options for you: Ultimate Pima, Suvin Gold, and yeah, you have options.
Yeah.
I would say that yeah, if you're specifically after one, yeah, especially the Suvin Gold, just try to be on top of it. Know our release and Redcast release, and if you're on top of it, you should be able to get what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Okay, we've got Andrew Yee checking in. Says, hello, BNR, Bahzad and Risa. Got my ELS in gray and ecru shipped from Japan on Monday, and I received them in Toronto on Wednesday afternoon. Now that's fast. I think my total is now 12 items from Wonder Looper. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for giving us such amazing amount of room in your closet there. Yeah, we hope you're enjoying everything. But yeah, we ship pretty fast. We try to ship pretty fast, and I think it also helps that we're 12, 13 hours ahead of North America. So when we ship out during our day, it's your evening. So it makes things go so much smoother.
Right.
And
if everything goes well, like that's a typical amount of time that people get their shipments. With that said,
yeah,
there's a lot of things going on, especially in the U.S. border and stuff like that. So a lot of things do get stopped somewhere between. But I would say a lot. Like I just feel like we deal with it, every single one of them. So it's just like it feels like a lot, but considering the
volume, the volume is pretty low. Right. So like I don't know, news update headline. So here's how international shipping is what's going on in the world right now. I will say, so in and around Christmas, it seemed like an unusually high amount of our orders, not just our orders, I'm sure everybody's, was getting double checked at U.S. Customs. So that added to like, on top of like just a flood of shipments going through the country, it also slowed down things a little, like even more. So that the amount of them, I think just as a percentage, seems to have come down lately. Like we probably get them every couple of days where like we have to get, we'll get an email from FedEx saying, oh, this, you need to verify this, that, and the other thing. And so we send that information out to them, and then it passes through, and it usually passes through relatively quick. It takes from like a 3 to 5 day delivery to like 10 to 12 day delivery.
Yeah, so
something like that.
Once the package gets like stuck in a way, like I act as quickly as possible because I think the timing is very important. But it's just I think there's something in their system where like it gets stopped and just maybe process it through, like maybe manually somebody has to be processing it or something, because it usually just get like, it doesn't never get, just because I send in the information like immediately after. If the timing is right, if I'm sitting in front of a computer, I do it right away, but it doesn't, I don't think it gets moving faster necessarily. So anyways, that's an unfortunate, like, it's kind of like lottery system where most people win.
Yeah,
most people don't have any problems, but some people do.
Yeah, some people win the unlucky lottery.
Yes.
Yeah,
unfortunately, but there's nothing we can do to control that. Actually, like, I've been finding out that they are charging us.
Whoa, this is good.
They are charging us like a hold fee for things that they
are holding
because they need extra information, which coincidentally is
already available
in their hands already. Like, not because I sent it out like after they told me. I do that, but even before that, I put it on a commercial invoice. The information is there when we ship it in the format that they have, available to us. Like I can only work within their system, so it really drives me nuts, and I don't know how. Like I have to go through all my bills to figure out which one is the one that gets stuck, and then I have to contest a charge each one of them separately, which I certainly do not have time for.
It's like going to the drive-through and they're like, "Oh, your order's not ready yet." When you get to the window, like, "Can you park?" And then you park, and then they bring you your food, and then they also bring you a bill for parking. And they're like, "Yeah, but you're in our parking lot. You had to." And you're like, "But you told it's supposed to be ready now, and then you told me it wasn't ready, and then you made me park, and then." Yeah. So
it drives me nuts, and it drives me nuts that I can't just be like, you can't do that for all of it. I just have to be like, I have to find it, and I have to make a ticket, and I don't have a person for it. I just have to, submit a ticket every single time separately from the website.
Yeah. And like, all you do is you get a bill and you get numbers. It's just like date shipped, this weight, whatever, and like here's a price. And you're like, you don't know, so you have to look up everything, and you're like, I don't know if this price is like wildly out of range or just a little bit out of range, and you have to consider your time. So like, it's definitely a racket, because it's like, is it worth it for me to retrieve the extra $16 on this shipment?
No, they're charging us like 3,000 yen. So it is.
Yeah, it's like,
I think to a degree it is worth it if I have time.
Right.
If I have time, I would do it. Even just out of principle, I would do it, because they can't do that. That's like scamming somebody. I do not stand for it. But I do not have time. And also the best case scenario is that we get the money back after some questioning. I have to submit evidence or whatever, like all kinds of things, and I have to, most of the time they don't just accept it. They'll just like ask us questions. I have to respond,
it's amazing.
All of that. And then the best case scenario, I get the money that they stole from us back. That's it. Like there's no penalty for them. There's no like, oh, I'm sorry for inconvenience kind of thing.
No,
it's insane.
It's pretty impressive. Like I just, I'm always amazed by the businesses that are built on just annoyance fees, right? Like you could. Just annoyance fees are you don't provide any value to nothing. Yeah. Like there's no value created anywhere. Right. And
I don't think that business is built on that.
No.
They do benefit.
Right. There's a huge benefit from that. Yeah. It's like the benefit of like, you're not going to go through your bill, so we're going to make an extra 7%. Not even 7%. It could be a 0.5%, right?
Still the money that they shouldn't have.
Over trillions of dollars of business is huge amount of money. Yeah. Right? So yeah, it's incredible.
And my personality is that I do not let it go. Yeah. It is wrong. But at the same time, I don't have an intern or whoever who can just go through them and help me with it.
Right. And hiring somebody to just do that isn't worth you know what I mean?
And it's gonna break that person's mind also. That's like a torture.
It's a fun game to play. So anyhow, that's the state of the union in terms of shipping in America. Everywhere else, Middle East is seemingly okay delivery wise. Yeah. We've had a lot of shipments going out there as of in the last couple of months. And every now and then I'll get an email. They're saying, what's the shipping like? And then I'll check other shipments that we've recently shipped. And, it takes maybe 7 days or something like that. It's getting there. Like you see some delays here and there.
But I think that's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, everything has seemingly been going okay. Nothing major to report in that area. Europe has been fine also. The only thing about Europe is that every now and then, and this can apply to anywhere, but if you get a bill from FedEx, if you get a bill saying you got to pay duties or taxes or this and that, if you're from one of our DDP zones that we ship to, so DDP is delivered duties paid, so duties and taxes paid. So Canada, USA, and the EU. So if you're in any of those regions, we ship the packages out DDP. So you should not receive any bills from FedEx. We cover, it's not that we handle the bill on your behalf because we collect those fees at checkout. So we just handle those for you so you don't get any bills later on. But if you are in one of those zones and you get a bill later on, don't pay the bill. Do not pay the bill. Contact us and we will get that sorted out for you.
But act quickly, because sometimes if they don't release the package without you paying the bill, then like the only thing that can happen is like they either destroy the package there or send it back to us on our account, which is like we have a good rate going out, but we don't have a good rate coming back, and because that's not mainly our business. So that could cost a lot. So anything that's related to shipping, like we need to act quickly. So let us know, and we'll tell you what needs to be done. But if there's anything on your end, but either way, like time sensitive matters. So I would suggest that you look at your email once you place an order. Keep an eye on the tracking so you can notice something wrong right away.
Right. Shank Style says, LOL, sounds like whoever is implementing the current US shipping and customs processing must be the smartest people. Yes, and the best looking. Also, very good looking, handsome, pretty, beautiful people all around. So my hat's off to them. Stephen Kolbekamp, good question. BNR, I love FoxFibre. I've seen that other countries like Peru have brown cotton as well. Have you considered other types of brown cotton since Sally is only able to supply so many manufacturers? The answer is no. We are very loyal to Sally and her work in extending and improving the quality of brown. She didn't invent brown cotton. What Sally has done is that she improved the fiber length and the stability of these fibers, improved the color, improved varieties of colors. Mm-hmm. So that
it's organically grown and everything. I do like that there is a single origin factor with FoxFibre too. Sally herself is not growing everything that we use. What we use is a bulk of the FoxFibre that's grown in New Mexico. Yeah. And the brown cotton, it's the problem with the limitation that we have with FoxFibre brown is not so much the amount that we can get. It's just that we have to prepare early enough in advance for us to have the yarns available for us then. So we're working with, we're a apparel company. We usually work, maybe 6 months ahead. But in reality, like the fabric supplier has to be like working even further than that. Usually if you're using like a running fabric, which means the fabrics that they use, they make for brands to purchase, then you can just you're assuming the fabric's going to be ready by the time you need to make your things. But in our case, we're kind of working with special, like FoxFibre yarns are available, but it's only available in certain sizes, certain
colors.
So we have to actually kind of plan ahead of time so that like the yarns are available for when we need to make it. So FoxFibre brown, the cotton wise, it's not like the amount is so limited. It's different from the green. Green, we didn't have a lot. We couldn't get any cotton allocated to us. Even if we were willing to wait, we couldn't until the next batch, which we will get for spring next year. But with the brown, the only problem is the like having it ready in time. So we didn't have enough because we were working with the previous season's amount, but that wasn't enough to fit the next season's amount. So that's why we had some shortage. But
and then the other, like, we also, like, this yarn is our yarn. Like, this is the 70. So they don't typically stock this blend. So this is something that they make for us, and then the iron. This is the 70 iron Mordant as well. So like there are certain FoxFibre yarns that the company makes, because there are a handful of companies in Japan that use this yarn. And you know, they might use the ones that are a little bit more available. To be fair, this all still very limited production stuff anyways. But you know, when you start working in like customizing it further, like this is custom for us, or like the Grandrel version of this. So we're basically taking this yarn and then a black yarn and then twisting that together to make another yarn. Like that's fully custom for us as well. So there's when the more custom you do, the more sort of complicated things get. But as far as like looking to secure other, you know, other options in brown cotton, we're not looking to do that.
We don't need to do that. Yeah, we just need to plan it ahead.
Yeah. We've got is that Sabrina? Mm-hmm. Okay. The more I get into high-end clothing, the more I really appreciate how designers are like artists, both always trying to get their hands on the newest materials to work with. Yeah, there's I mean, look, we are certainly in a creative field. I don't think that every designer, you know, different designers approach like apparel in different ways. Some people are a lot more about expressive in terms of like their cuts, you know, and you know, being very forward thinking, or maybe unusually prints. Thinking. And some people are about prints, some people are about fabrics, you know, some people like heavy graphics. So there's always there's as you guys know, there's a variety of ways that people are going to approach this. We're much more in like we're fits wise, we're tied into like classic American fits, and then
we don't experiment in terms of like the fits or the it's all classic. Because we want to focus on the raw material, the fabric, the you know, I mean, we play around with the colors and stuff like that. Colors are something that we can, you know, kind of make something like more exciting, but in general I think our focus is the parts before that.
Fabric, dyes, that sort of thing. So you know, we definitely play a lot with raw materials. We love interesting raw materials, and you know, sometimes they're not so like, maybe the word innovative, I guess it really depends on what you consider as innovative, right? Mm-hmm. Because some of these, you know, materials they're really just based in heritage and history, right? Like FoxFibre, this is this cotton is as raw as it can get. You know what I mean? It came up as a South American, basically weed cotton. It was just this tiny little fiber that, you know, you really couldn't do anything with. It was sort of like just a bush, you know. Nobody thought much of it until Sally came around and said, well, why don't we try to improve the fiber length here so that we can use it for something? And like, that is what Sally's work is based on. So innovative, in my mind, I know, you know, innovative is like, how can we create the newest, how can we take technology and, you know, create the newest fibers, you know, like technical fibers and things like that. Whereas like especially with what Sally's doing, it's like, it's all based on, you know, traditional breeding methods, organic farming. So it doesn't sound, I mean, I guess it depends on what your interpretation of innovative is. I find that a lot of what we tend to reach for is like, it's generally deeply rooted in some sort of heritage, history. You know, it doesn't have to be 100 or 1,000 years old. You know, but
innovative in a way that like we're making it available, we're talking about it. Maybe traditionally these materials have been used, and you know, white t-shirts have been made by every single apparel brand, I would imagine at some point. But you know, it's just like the idea of how we run our business might be a little bit different from a traditional sense. We're not counting on, you know, marketing or advertisement or things like that. We're talking about things like, you know, things that's not going to be available for 6 months or 1 year. But I think we focus on more transparency and learning about, like, you know, things that you never really probably thought of before when buying clothes. So
Yeah.
I think we're innovative in kind of that approach.
Yeah. Rugged Sartorial says, I think every designer has their own medium through which they express whatever they want to communicate. However, I personally found that when the fabric is lacking, I am always disappointed. I hear, you know what? I hear that a lot. A lot of people, we get a lot of visitors to the showroom here, and, the first thing that I would say that the new customers, people who heard about us and they haven't made a purchase online before, some people, they come in like, I heard about you, I want to experience it in person before I make a purchase. And like the first thing is like, yeah, like, I could read about it, I can see it, but like once I feel it, and they're, and oftentimes they're like, yeah, man, I used to wear this brand or I used to wear that brand. And it's just, it doesn't have that feel, and it's a constant thing that we hear. And I'm glad that many of you guys are seeing and feeling the difference. And yeah, we know it's impossible to express it through pictures and videos, like perfectly, right?
But we can talk about
yeah,
it.
We try our best, but yeah,
Right.
it's we're working on it. I like that. We touch is very important to us. Hayes Gray says, as an engineer by trade, it really strikes me how similar what you both do really is. You both deal with process engineering, materials, garment structure. People assume artsy because clothes. Yeah. Yeah.
I think I relate to that a little bit more. We're more database, logic based a little bit, but
I think we're very tactile, technical, like we're very nerdy in that realm, whereas like other people, I would say, are more classically artists. Like
the visual,
they're
like,
very
what you
visual.
see
Yeah.
is important. Which like I think it is important.
Yeah.
I think clothing needs to look good.
Right.
But
to a degree, like I see a lot of, and this is my opinion, but like, I scroll through Instagram, I see a lot of brands, and a lot of brands are very much like, look at the packaging and look at the photos. It's, number one, a lot of people spend way too much time on packaging. That's just my opinion. But, and their visuals are great. Their photos are beautiful. And I'm like, but the product is, like, I look at the product and I'm like, yeah, maybe it's not for me. It's not my demographic, but a lot of people, like, they're very good at design, they're very good at visuals, and they're very good at packaging, but when it comes to like making really, really good product, that's not their forte. Like they're good at style, right? And they can style something well, but it's not, and then it doesn't, well, it's not that it's not a great product, it's just not a great product for people like us who have a certain,
right,
like
exactly.
we have a certain taste for things, right? And so that's where we certainly lack. Like if you look at our Instagram, like I think our photos are fine. They're perfectly fine, but they're not like, a beautiful, Ralph Lauren, like quality ad, and I'm not hiring models and makeup, and I cannot do that. And I honestly don't have the time to figure out how to get somebody to do that, and I don't think it's particularly necessary.
Exactly. I
right?
think that's my point. We can always outsource that. There's professionals that we can work with that can do those things. It's just that like our focus right now, especially in terms of like, like if we were to outsource, okay, maybe that's out of our hands and it frees up our hands, but it's like we're still building this brand as like our own. Like we don't want to get too far away from our hands, and we want to be very selective about where to focus,
right?
Financially, time wise, everything. So I think right now is not the time to be like having a crazy photo shoots and whatnot.
Right.
We did one time. We did like hire a professional photographer to photograph us, like in wearing clothes, and I think that was very good. And I think we should do more of that. But
right, it's not like visuals is not my like it. My stance on it is that it needs to be good enough, and good enough is a clear photo of the product. Like I can't be slunched over in a photo. Stand up straight, you know what I mean? Like, show the product, but it doesn't have to be this grand thing. Customers are more interested in, like, the product than they are in the photo. Of course, the photo catches eyes, and I just think it has to be good enough. And, we have a lot of different ways to catch people's attention. Speaking of catching people's attention, it was brought to my attention about a new scam. A couple of months ago, some guy emailed me and he's like, I just want to double check with you that you're not emailing or like messaging people about like doing PR, gifting to influencers for Naked and Famous. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And so I don't know how this scam worked, but basically somebody pretending to be Bahzad was going around messaging people on Instagram saying, hey, I'm going to give you a bunch of free stuff, but all you need to do is pay this, that, and, probably one of the oldest scams in the book. I don't think anyone fell for it, but anyhow, I was just put onto a new scam. Somebody emailed me and he was like, I just wanted you to know. So there was a nice Instagram reel that was put out the other day by our retail partner out there in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, Denali Clothing. So they did like a little breakdown on the double heavyweight t-shirt. So it was a great little video. I can hold on. I'll pull it up. You guys, we don't necessarily need to watch it, but it's a nice little video. 1 second. Riveting stuff here. And their guy did here, let's just bring it up. Split screen, Instagram, there we go. So this is Denali Clothing out there in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, one of our retail partners, and they put up this video, and so it just goes over all the details of the double heavyweight sweatshirt. They did make one mistake by saying that it didn't have side seams. This t-shirt definitely does have side seams. That's not really the point. The point is that somebody then took this video, reposted it on TikTok or something, and then under their brand, and then made the link go to their website, and then they were selling their t-shirts. Now, obviously, they didn't have any Wonder Looper branding on their t-shirts on their website, but they were just using all the jargon buzzwords, tubular knit, this, that, the other thing, knit on this machine. Obviously, all of it is a lie, and they're charging, $30 or something for a t-shirt. I don't think anyone in our audience is going to be fooled by that. I think everyone's going to know that that's a scam. But, hey, it's out there. And, I don't like it. And I will say that what hopefully won't happen, but it might happen. Somebody buys it. They get this whatever t-shirt they bought from who even knows where it comes from. And then I get an email being like, why doesn't this feel heavy?
At the same time, though, in that video, you're showing the real Wonder Looper t-shirt with the Wonder Looper tag and everything, and then it seemed like what they were doing, when you click on the whatever and go there, they have a completely different brand. They don't even have the same product. So it's I don't know. It's just obviously they don't have the product, but they're not even making it look like they have that product.
That's true. But let me tell you, and you know this, and let me tell you guys this one. This was pre-pandemic. I guess we have to talk about the world in these days. Pre-pandemic era at the old Tate Yoko store. Somebody, I don't know who, but somebody made some sort of Facebook ads for a store called Tate Yoko, right? And then they were selling bicycles, electric bikes, mattresses.
But they were supposedly clicking on the picture of a bicycle, got to a website called Tate Yoko, whatever, fake website.
But it was on the
bike. Yeah. And they were mad at us because they didn't get the bike.
Right.
But in this case, if somebody clicks on a Wonder Looper t-shirt,
right. But that's my point, is that if somebody clicks on a Wonder Looper t-shirt fake ad and buys it, the fact that somebody can go and buy a bicycle and then go to a website that sells jeans and t-shirts, and then be like, where's my bicycle? We were getting flooded Like the amount of people that fell for that was insane. Like I could not believe how many people fell for this.
Right.
Where's my mattress? It's been 3 months. And I'm like, what? You're emailing an apparel store right now.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm just saying, there's a lot of gullible people out there. My hope.
Right, but it's a little bit of a different thing. Like if they're using the content of like this T-shirt is amazing, and they bought, it's just like I think it's like if that like TikTok or Reel like allows you to purchase like directly from what you're looking at, like to check out, then sure, it's one thing. Like they would be mad at us.
Yeah.
And like I don't doubt that's gonna happen, but it's just like they go from that to like a website that looks completely different. I don't know.
Hey man,
like nobody's gonna
I would say that the scams target the lowest common denominator for a reason, right? There's a reason why scams look so dumb to so many people.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking to my friend, the recently denounced prince of Nigeria, and he's talking to me like every day about like how these scams are going on in his country, and he really wants to stop it, and he just needs my help. And so together we're trying to figure all that out. But like the amount of gullible people out there, tremendous, right? And
the son
of the deposed
what is it?
Something like that. If the son of the deposed leader of Nigeria reaches out to you for your help,
you help them.
You help them. That's the way I was brought up. I don't know.
His father runs the country.
Yeah.
For God's
I don't know about you, but if someone like that reaches out to me, I'm on it. So
anyways,
that's the point. That's why we're good at comedy. It's very bad. Anyhow. It's out there. Just be aware. You might see it and leave a fun comment if you do.
Semi-related to that, I wanted to go back and up a little and Chase Franson.
Yes.
There was a YouTube review of the there was a YouTube review of this double heavyweight shirt that said, because there is side seam that is not loop wheel Tsuriami, basically claiming that the info for your shirt wasn't true. I think there's a couple minutes ago, I think he the same person asked about the fact that whether like just because there is a side seam that that means that isn't Tsuriami.
Yeah.
Or
basically
vice versa. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that was the gist of the question. But let's just address that so everything is like available as an information. Double heavyweight t-shirts that we make, 409 GSM double heavyweight t-shirts, is not loop wheeled fabric.
It's not a Tsuriami fabric.
Yeah, it's not a Tsuriami fabric. We never claimed that. But separate from that, we do use a lot of Tsuriami fabrics in our t-shirts, like FoxFibre Tsuriami, Ultimate Pima t-shirts Tsuriami, Super Loopers Tsuriami, Triple Heavyweight Tsuriami. Anyway, there is a certain amount of fabric that we use that are knit on Tsuriami machines. However, we use side seam on everything. We have side seam on all of the products, all the t-shirts we make. And with that said, no side seam equals Tsuriami, or Tsuriami equals no side seams, or no side seams equals not wide width. That equation doesn't work.
Yeah. If there are if it's tubular knit, it doesn't mean it's a Tsuriami knit. That does not mean it is Tsuriami knit. And if there are seams, it doesn't mean that it wasn't tubular knit.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Tubular knit is the standard for knitwear. Mm-hmm. All knitwear is tubular knit, whether it's made on a sinker machine.
By knitwear, it means like
jerseys
for t-shirts, cut and sew type of things.
Yeah.
Not the knitwear.
Not like your
sweater.
like a sweater. Yeah. Right. So tubular knit is either sinker or it's like a Tsuriami. Now there's other machines in between, like these old Tsuriami machines. There's Azuma machines. Like there's a handful of machines from like the early like Tsuriami machines up to the more modern sinker machines. But the sinker machines have also been around for decades and decades and decades, right? Even newer ones,
faster ones, newer ones than sinker for sure. But.
So everything is tubular knit. Now, why would you want to tubular knit something? Because it's very efficient. It's very efficient in the sense that if you're like Hanes or Fruit of the Loom and you need to make 1 million t-shirts a month, if you can make the body size, the size of the tube of the knitting machine, then that means that's less operations you need to do on the cutting room floor. You don't need to cut the fabric. You don't need to sew the fabric. You just need to put the sleeves on, put the collar on, boom, you're done.
Yeah.
Right?
And I do admit that no side seams means that there's nothing that bothering your body. So there is a benefit for the consumer as well, but it is mostly a benefit to the manufacturer because it cuts the production step basically in half.
Right. So if you're doing very large scale production, there's a big benefit to that. If you're not doing very large scale production, well, the size of the tube is going to make a difference for you. Now in Japan, the size of those tubes, and there are brands that do tubular knit Tsuriami and they sell it to you without side seams. But, you know, as many of you may know, they don't fit everybody because there's a limit to the size of the tubes here. And the limit is basically most of the Tsuriami production in this country is made for this country. Some of it is made for not this country. And the ones that are made for not this country, we have to cut the fabric so that you can tailor the garment to the sizes that we need to accommodate. We accommodate up to a Western XXL. In Japan, that's like Godzilla size. Like you don't like unless you've been to Japan, you don't quite realize like the sizing here is very limiting. Like I'm like XL in a lot of things, and I'm not a North American XL guy. So they just don't cut things that way. So if you want to have sizes, especially in these rare fabrics, you gotta cut it. That's just the way it is. Until or unless Wonder Looper becomes so big, tremendously big, that we can buy the factories, and we just make everything to what we want to do. But
and the sizing
not anytime soon.
Sometimes is about like the availability of the machines, right? Like even if they can make it to a size big enough to accommodate our size range, we're not making a lot of XXL. That's only just a small amount of our production. Majority is medium large, extra large. So those three are like the core sizing for us, and so it is very inefficient for us to make something that is like, unless we can open up like I don't know, wait, how many sizes do we have? 6?
Extra small, medium, large, XL, XX. So
6 sizes.
Yeah.
So maybe like 10 machines can be, dedicated to us. Maybe it makes sense, but with the current way that Tsuriami machines are going, it is unlikely that's what they're willing to do. And on top of that, like, sometimes the smaller brands with, maybe sales that are not huge can do tubular knit Tsuriami construction, because I think Tsuriami is definitely like, because it's so slow, that it is like more smaller lots to begin with. And on top of that, there's a lot of running Tsuriami fabrics. There's a factory that does Tsuriami fabric for mostly a running fabric that is available for multiple of brands, but that's not mainly what we're doing. We're only like, the Tsuriami fabrics that we make are completely custom to us.
Yeah.
And so that means that they cannot open up like a machines, and each fabric has to be set differently. So like, just because we make one thing and another thing in the same size range, like FoxFibre and Ultimate Pima, they are made in the same like dimensions, but doesn't mean that they can like make it
Yeah.
on the same machine with the same settings. So it's yeah, like Bahzad said, unless we're like literally the only brands who are, you know, making the Tsuriami knit fabrics from that company with that mill, then I think it is a difficult thing, because as it is now, we're already like with just having one width that we cut and make it into different sizes, we're already kind of like eating our own production space, right? Like you know, everybody's fighting over these machines, and the bigger amounts that the higher volume that we make, it gets even more difficult.
It just pushes the production down the line.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just, it makes sense. It makes no sense to us. And that's why we have side seam. And I think it is completely fine. Like, I don't think anybody has ever complained that our flat seam, side seam is bothering them so much that they can't wear our t-shirts.
We that's the thing, you know, with the flat seam construction, like, we're very thoughtful in terms of like making a t-shirt this way. It's not what you find on most t-shirts, and we did it this way because we want it to be as flat as possible. We know that people want that tubular body, but if we can't give you that tubular body, we'll give you the next best thing, which is making the seams as flat as they can possibly be. And
and just the short answer, we went on way too deep, but I just wanted to make sure that this notion of side seam equals non-Tsuriami and no side seam equals Tsuriami is wrong.
Yeah.
And I think it is a little bit more difficult concept than, say, salvage denim, because they, you know, we always kind of equate, you know, Tsuriami knit fabric with salvage denim. But with salvage denim, there is an identifier. You can look at the fabric. If you know enough, then you can look at the fabric and you can tell if it's salvage fabric or not. Relatively easily. However, with the knit, like jersey or French terry or anything like that, you really can't. It is something that is kind of
on a fabric construction level, like, you're looking at like the knit structure, like with a microscope, in order to tell the difference. But it is certainly not as easily to tell visually. And
a lot of the times, like, we actually, like, you know, talk with the manufacturers about, like, you know, fabric constructions, and like oftentimes they're like, you know, comparing, this is actually Tsuriami net, this is not on Tsuriami net, but like it can, you know, it holds its shape, it has the bounciness and all of that, and it is quite interesting to learn that some Tsuriami net doesn't, you know, maybe doesn't have the like easiest way finding it. Whereas like the other non-Tsuriami maybe have the characteristics of that.
Yeah.
So it is a very nuanced, difficult thing. So I think for regular, you know, like Instagram content level, like it is way too much information.
Yeah, people want the quick thing to be able to point to and say that this is good, this is bad. And I think that as a whole, it's good because a lot of people are starting to recognize like parts of what makes a quality garment a quality garment. There's people out there pointing out those things. But I think where the nuance is lost is when like the art, like I would say that there are brands that just put out whatever, right? And they're not really thinking about how things are made. You know, a lot of people are, you know, it's like people who are in the paper business. It's a commodity business. Like we take our money, we invest it in paper, we sell a lot of paper, we make 3%. You know, over a ton of, you know, sales, and that's how basically our business runs. A lot of apparel brands, that's their mindset. Like somebody owns the company because of whatever reasons. Maybe it was a family business. Maybe they just thought it was a good business to get into. And like I've met people who were in the business who are, you're like, what do you like about this business? Like, no, I hate it. Like, you know, it's just like this is what I know how to do, so I do it, right? And so there's a difference between like, you know, you might purposefully make a garment like authentically vintage, even though that might not technically be the better quote unquote quality garment. But quality is a subjective thing. It depends on what kind of quality you're looking for. If you're looking for something to have an old vintage, you know, fuzzy pilled kind of look and feel to it, which we all love that t-shirt. We all have you know, in Seinfeld, Golden Boy. We all have that T-shirt. You know, it's the T-shirt that you love. It's maybe not. It could be one of ours, and it's a great quality T-shirt, but it's the T-shirt that you love, right?
Oftentimes,
right?
it's actually like one of the worst quality T-shirts.
Right.
I feel,
but
it's an emotional attachment,
right. So sometimes your aim in that creation is to create something that is maybe technically on paper not as high quality, but the task of making it that way is actually very difficult because things aren't made that way anymore. Like, for instance, one of the mills that we work with, they have yarn spinning machines. They have more modern yarn spinning machines, and they have yarn spinning machines that are nearly 100 years old. And the old yarn spinning machines create a natural slub. It's not as extreme as the modern machines, because the modern machine slub, and for people who don't know what slub is yarn that is purposely made, well, not purposely, but a yarn that is irregular in its uniformity. So it might have fat parts and skinny parts, and so it's not uniform across the board. And now, for our raw denim friends out there, you know, you look at a slubby denims are usually very textured. You know, they have a lot of inconsistency to it, which makes it look really great. But from a quality standpoint, you might look at that and you're like, ugh, look how uneven this fabric is. That's not good. But it is great because we love the inconsistency for it. So back to the yarn, the modern machines, they're controlled by computer. So the computer is telling the machines how to spin that yarn, how fast to spin it, how loose to spin it, so you can create a yarn that is computerized slub. And so there's a technical pattern to it. It's not random. So it might look random if you take a short enough piece of it, but if you take a long enough strand of that yarn, you'll notice that sort of the slub pattern is somewhat consistent, but of course you lose that consistent inconsistency when you also throw in the slow weaving methods of the shuttle loom. So it all looks pretty random at the end of the day. Cool, great, but there's also a way to make natural slub. And natural slub, what they're trying to do by mechanizing the slub is to create yarns that were made like 100 years ago when the machines were just inconsistent, just like the shuttle looms. They were just inconsistent. So the yarns would have these bumps and irregularities in them, and there was no pattern to it. It just happened naturally. And now, is there a value, like, to the total end consumer there? Like, the mechanized slub, which is also very good, produces an outcome that looks like that, right? Yeah, I'd say yes, there is. But there's also, just from my perspective, someone who likes seeing these old things still running and operating, and the people who are willing to operate old machines, there's a value to that too. And does that ultimately mean that this is a lesser quality product than something that is technically made the right way? Here's the smoothest, the finest, the best yarns. Which one's better? Like, you put those two t-shirts in front of somebody, which one is better? Right? That's the conversation that some people aren't having, because it's a very nuanced conversation. Right?
Yeah, and it's also personal preference,
right.
Personal, values. It's like the gist of the story is that, like, the reality is way more nuanced than what you can learn in a 20-second video.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's it. But I just, I always don't. It drives me nuts when there's bad information out there being sold. It's like, this is the key to finding, the best t-shirts or whatever. So it's
just easy content. And anyhow, the more people learn about this stuff, I would say that even if it starts off with bad information, right? If it triggers something in your mind that you become interested in this topic, chances are you'll start doing a little bit more of your own research, and then you'll start to learn a little bit more. And, when I first got into raw denim, oh yeah, the Japanese, they imported all of the old shuttle looms and this and that and the other thing. And then, dude, those rumors are still around today, but I'll tell you that fewer and fewer people believe in that. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take credit for discrediting that, because this is maybe 2010, and I'm on, I'm raw denim freak, and I'm in the business, I'm in the industry. I go to Japan, and we go to the mills, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, I'm gonna see all these old American machines. I'm gonna see them, and nothing, zero. Toyota. It's all Japanese machines, and they're like, you ask the Japanese people, and they're like, what are you talking about, American machines? There's no American. There was never any. We made all these machines,
well,
right?
I mean, I think that
they didn't have any Draper looms or things like that.
Right.
And like Toyota has been making looms in Japan since the 1800s. So there was no American machines that they had to copy. They were already making these machines. So they might have been inspired by some American machines that they saw, and then they made their own, but they didn't import the machines that the big mills in America abandoned when they started using more modern machines. They didn't buy those up.
They learned about denim making from American
mills,
and, people, I would imagine. But it's.
But then anyway, when I learned that was something I was telling everyone. I was telling everyone everywhere, and I think I helped to dispel that rumor. I'm definitely taking credit for it, even though
it's just
maybe
that it was
else.
a better story, maybe.
Right.
Somebody assumed, and somebody said something, and it's like, okay, this is the information that kind of sticks to people's head. But yeah.
Yeah. So, information sticks, even bad information sticks around for a long time.
Especially if it's an easier thing for people to point to, then that people really gravitate towards that. But yeah, again, it's just oftentimes when you kind of deep dive into some things are not as simple as you want it to be.
Well, one thing that I like is like and you'll always see it from like the corporate denim brands, when they're like doing a push for raw denim, and they're like, yeah, real denim enthusiasts never wash their jeans. And it's just like, just go on to any denim forum and ask that question, and you're going to be hit with everybody being like, what are you talking about? Of course I wash my jeans. Like, it's just one of those weird things that people are like, yeah, so the hardcore denim guys, this is what they do. I'm like, yeah, there's probably like a couple of those guys that do it, but it's certainly not a like uniform sort of mentality in the community that they're just like, never wash your jeans. That's sacrilege. You have to live in your filth forever. That is what you have to do, or you're not a real denim guy. All right. Hey, anyhow, Shang Sao says, a while ago, Bahzad posted a long comment clarifying a whole bunch of stuff an experienced YouTuber Stridewise said about denim. There's a lot of newer creators that aren't putting great information out there. I don't remember. Maybe I did something with Stridewise about that, but Stridewise, I think Nick's great. Nick does a pretty good job, and Nick also talks to a lot of people. So I wouldn't put Nick on that list. It's possible that he might have said something that might have needed clarification. I definitely at one point when I was more in the denim business, I was very eager to sort of correct. I don't think I put anybody on blast, but I wanted to correct people who might have said something incorrect, because the bad information tends to permeate, and I just wanted good information to be out there. So yeah. Okay. Pastor B says, okay, but question for you, Bahzad. Isn't the Toyota G3 and even the GL3 even rarer than the Cone Mills machines? They seem to be like 100 of those Cone Mills ones left moving around the USA. Now, the machines that Cone was using, I don't know what company was making those ones. They might have had a variety of machines. Toyota G3, those are some of the earliest shuttle looms for denim production. Now, there were more modern ones made, and from what my understanding is that they were made up until like the 1980s. So the oldest ones are the G3s, and yeah, they're the least plentiful in the mills. That's for sure. Now, as far as them being even rare, yeah, it's possible that they're even rare. But I don't know how many of the machines that Cone or any of the other mills in America are still operating, right? I don't know if they were just, dismantled and, junked, or if maybe maybe a mill in Mexico or South America or somebody else might have taken them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know the where all those machines ended up. There were also mills in Canada. There were mills in Canada that were making selvage denim. Where are all those machines? No idea. It would be interesting to know, but I don't. Yeah. Steven says Nick is also good at correcting himself when he realizes he made a mistake. And then the Raven says, my favorite part of Stridewise content is that if he doesn't know or isn't true, he'll say it. Yeah, Nick is great. I think Nick's a good guy. I like Nick.
And it's also like we are working in this industry for a long time. I always say this, but every time, you know, we have a conversation with like people who work, you know, in the mills, or, you know, who are like working different parts of our apparel production, like we learn a new thing every day. There's a lot of things that we don't know, and it's like I say this all the time, but like, you know, in Japan especially, like the apparel production from, like we call it, like from the top of the river to the down to the river, like we're basically the lowest part of the river that's almost at the ocean. We're facing the ocean, but like basically the retailers are at the you know, the bottom of the river, and the top is basically people who are, I guess, growing cotton or, you know, whatever. So from there, like every step is very separated. And if, you know, like a lot of people do like maybe experience different parts, but most people, their entire career is in one part of the
industry,
and like if you are like this, like you know everything about this part, maybe if you dedicate your life into it, but you might not know anything about this part, or might not know anything about this part. So it is very common for people to have no idea what's going on before it comes to in their territory, and then after. And it is fascinating, and that's why, like, you know, we are like in this industry for a long time, but again, there's so much more to learn all the time. So I think it is especially being a YouTuber, like you're not even technically in the industry, you know.
Yeah, you're in the reporting part.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It is so hard to infiltrate towards the higher it gets. Like it's harder if you have to swim a lot further.
But I would say that at least in you know, the good part of YouTube is that everybody can participate. You know, but that means everybody can participate,
right?
But
everybody can, like,
anyone can say anything they want, and
they're technically giving a same like credit, unless like until like the audience kind of decides who's giving the right information. And so, you know, you see it, and I think that there's, I mean, you know, there is an allure of being a YouTuber. And I think there's a lot of people who are genuinely interested in fashion, and they want to express their hobby with other people. And, you know, there's people who are good at that, and there's people who are maybe they're better at being the consumer, right? And, you know, just because you have a hobby doesn't mean you're necessarily like really good or even particularly well informed on how to like present that hobby to others. And, you know, you do see a lot of like copycat content. Like you might see, you know, an Iron Snail or a Stridewise like topic come up, and then, I mean, this is just YouTube 101. Hey, there's a popular trending topic, make a video about it. Right. So then they see their video, and then they make their script, and maybe you definitely see, man, the amount of Chat GPT scripts that I see it's like, I know that they're fooling, because look, at the end of the day, a view is a view is a view, right? It doesn't matter if you viewed it and you liked it, or you viewed it and you didn't like it. A view is a view is a view. So, you know, some people, like, they just get lazy with the content, and it's like, here's a topic. Oh, okay, Chat GPT, give me a script for this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then you hire an editor somewhere who's going to, you know, clip this video together for you, and then now I have a video, and, you know, it gets seen. You know, but the ones that are good, the ones that have
made consistent, high quality content, you know, it's very obvious who those people are, and like the ones that are on the up and coming, you can tell the ones who are going to be in that place down the line, right? There's people who come and like you're like, you look like you're trying to get free clothes from a brand, and right?
Yeah, or just you're just like, you know, you're happy about like things, but you maybe like you kind of talk about it like you know it, but maybe you don't. Like a lot of the times, like I'm sometimes guilty of this too. But like, you know, like when Chat GPT says something, you tend to believe that. It's like, okay, well,
for a second,
you know, that must be, you know, based on some data, and you just like sometimes you kind of like find out that Chat GPT is completely wrong about something that they shouldn't be wrong, right? And then it's just like, okay, then I can't trust it. It was. I remember, because, you know, we're at the age where like I remember, you know, like researching versus Wikipedia, right? Like Wikipedia was ChatGPT over our time, where like, you know, we were to like, you know, research something, Wikipedia was the easiest.
Yeah. Remember, I mean, you know, where'd you get that information? Wikipedia? And you're like
and it was often wrong. And you know, so it's like and eventually I think the people kind of came together to make it better. I think the information online is now in a better quality. At the same time though, like there's enough people making these like wrong content and it's out there, then ChatGPT thinks it's true, because there's so many people saying that.
I didn't put someone on blast, but there was a creator who they made a video about raw denim. It was on Instagram Reels, and they made a video about raw denim and how AI is helping him research raw denim, and he was using, you know, some companies' tools. You might have seen the video. I'm not here to do anything, but I'm just like, and he's like, and according to the AI, it said this, and this, and like, and he's talking about how he's like really into raw denim, and I'm like, all of the information is wrong, and I left a comment, and you know, like a rather long comment. Of course, nobody's reading this, but and like, of course, there's no rebuttal. Not so much a rebuttal. There's no retraction. There's no update. Because it doesn't matter. Right. Because the point of the video wasn't to educate you. The point of the video was to create content for the brand that was going to pay them to push their product.
Yeah.
It does not matter. So there's a lot of people out there who's like, it just doesn't matter. The content isn't the product.
And sometimes that's the funniest thing, is that sometimes they do make these like, I was wrong, like, you know, like,
and then they'll monetize the wrongness.
It's just like I you know, it's just very catchy content. It's like, you know, I like very sorry, I was wrong kind of thing. It's just so funny.
But it's like you didn't do like literally. That's, to me, that's the scariest part of AI. It's like, you know, all these claims that AI is going to take your job. I'm like, no, AI is going to take your job is the marketing headline that all the AI companies want you to believe, so that people start like big companies invest in their companies because they think that they're going to be able to replace 30 or 40% of their workforce. Ain't going to happen. You know, it just ain't going to happen. That's my opinion. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right.
Not the way that they threaten. Yeah.
The real scary part of AI for me is all the midwits who are like capable of reading but not capable of discerning anything, right? Like they're just educated enough to be like, yeah, oranges are fruits. And you're like, yup. And like, how do you make an apple pie? Well, it says to put an orange in there. I'm like, I mean, you know, it's just like the people who are going to take anything that it spits out at you as like, that's the truth. And because they don't have any experience with whatever it is that they're researching, like prior to that, so they can't discern whether what they're reading is real or not real. Like if you know a good amount of things about cameras, and it starts telling you about a camera that you're interested in, and it's telling you the wrong specs, or it can do things that it just can't do. Like, if you know about the topic, then you know that that's wrong. But if you don't know about the topic, you definitely don't know it's right or wrong or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. You know? So that is the scariest part for me, because there's too many people like that.
AI is as dumb as the people using it is. And it really you know, I mean, I don't want to be like so negative about it. There's so many smart people out there, but the smart people are outnumbered
Yeah,
by
you're definitely. We all know this. Yeah, this is not a secret.
So, like, what you're relying on as a source of information is like how many people are saying this is true,
Right.
and it is
Right, and then it
not
becomes
a
a
good
loop
idea. Yeah.
because then the midwit class starts repeating the stuff and writing about it and putting it online, and then the AI is trained on that,
Right.
and so it's just a bad information in, bad information out, and like there's no way to remove that factor from the AI. There's just no way to do it.
Yeah.
You can train these algorithms as much as you want. Again, this is coming from a guy who spent the last time I coded something was on Visual Basic in grade 11, and I made a tic-tac-toe game. You're talking to this level of engineer programmer, and I can assure you I don't even know how to do that today. That said, I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. I'm willing to put 25 cents down on it. That's my bet. Yeah. So yeah, it's just bad information in, bad information out, and there's no way they're gonna get rid of the dum-dum factor. The dum-dum factor is irremovable from this equation.
Okay.
And anyhow.
Okay. I also want to correct some of the information out there that is actually not correct.
Okay.
I am not wearing a Naked and Famous work shirt today. Although I do have a very similar looking work shirt from Naked and Famous that I embroidered life aquatic things on. I am wearing Remy Relief.
So let's do the fit check. Let's do the fit check.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's very similar looking, but I just I found this on the secondhand shop. It was good price. Remy Relief. It has like some kind of drawings on there. Just some, you know, like spring piece. I'm wearing a ringer tee in sand. Tory leather western belt. I'm wearing these. It's a little winkly, but I'm wearing these fatigue pants from Big John Ward Workers. Like a sateen off-white colored one. I just found this the other day at Big John, and I was like, that's perfect. And I'm wearing my Flower Mountain sneakers.
Okay.
Your turn.
Bahzad is in. This is an outfit you've probably seen me wear many, many times before. Vintage denim shirt here with the selvage on the inside. This one comes from Sears, an old Sears Roebuck shirt. ELS recycled cotton slub t-shirt here on me body. Some Japanese made linen patchwork trousers. They're very comfortable, very wide. I've got some new shoes. My sock came off, but it's okay. These are from Yucatan or Chamula, their other brand, and some nice suede moccasins. Very comfortable, and I like that they have this sort of beading detail on the front because, I am a hippie, and I believe in peace, and I think we need to have more of that in the world. And so one is peace, and one is happiness. So let's keep that going in the world. So those are my new Chamula slippers or moccasins. Yeah, there you go.
So people are talking about wife respectors, and we haven't gotten around to it just yet, but we're working on that either this week or next week. Just as a maybe catch up to things that we've been up to lately. We talked about the booking orders.
Yeah.
For fall, and another thing we did this weekend was the Cotton Club.
Oh yes,
started a Cotton Club.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't start it. We were joining.
We joined it.
So this is a club that Sally Fox is putting together with working with a person in Japan
In Okinawa.
Her brand is called Seed and Hand, I think. Hand and Seed, something like that. She's like a yarn spinner.
Yeah.
And she grows cotton, like mainly like Sally's cotton, and spins her hand spins the yarns, and so they're kind of like putting everybody who are interested in growing cotton together, and we Zoom meet once a month to kind of like go go through the experience of growing FoxFibre. Not just FoxFibre, but
a variety,
like a variety of cotton that Sally
provided the seeds for.
Yeah. And so we just had our first meeting yesterday, and so we haven't planted anything yet, but we do have the seeds, and we're just gonna plant probably in the next couple weeks. The weather, I think, is good. Timing wise, so we just have to buy pots and soil and everything.
Yeah, our first lesson was basically how to grow the seeds and like what conditions are best for growing and what to expect when they start to grow. So we have a couple of varieties. We have some FoxFibre varieties. We have an Akela cotton. We have a Giza 45 cotton. So we'll see.
We have some sea green.
Yeah, we have some sea green. That's right.
Sea green and buffalo together. So we're gonna see how. I don't know. So I think a lot of the people who are joining have experience growing cotton. Before, and some of them is growing on the ground, on the soil, and some people are growing in the pots. We're gonna have to do pots because we live in an apartment.
We don't have soil.
And so I and it's kind of I love plants. I have lots of plants, but I do constantly kill a bunch of plants too. So I'm just a little nervous. Everybody seems to make it like, oh, you planted and you know it's gonna grow, and it's like I don't know about that. Like I don't know if I'm so confident in keeping it alive, but hopefully it's going to happen. I'm very excited about the fact that like cotton grows like from seed to like actual cotton puff coming up. It's like about 10 months or so. So that is a very quick turnaround. Like I'm used to like some things that, it's already a little plant that grows to be, a little bigger in 10 months. But cotton is just the entire life. It's basically a year, so I think it's going to be exciting to see the fast growth.
And we'll keep you guys posted with some of our learnings as well, because I think it's very important for us, because we are deep in the roots. I would say in this world, and we want to learn and experience as much of it as we can and share that information with you. Okay, there was something. Okay, Stephen Kopelkamp, good question. BNR, are there any other mordants that could give interesting tones to your cotton? So there's actually something we learned about like iron mordant as on its own, the iron sulfite versus iron sulfate, something like that.
No, iron oxide.
Anyhow, we've learned that there. Again, I'm no chemistrician, something like that. But there are properties of iron that can also change the colors of the iron. Like when we do an iron mordant, there's actually more than one way to do it with iron and to get slightly different tones. Other things can also be used as mordants. So we like, just as a thing, the Amami t-shirts that we're doing this summer, we have 3 solid colors, and the 4th one is the tie-dye style, but like the 3 colors that we have is, we call it sharinbai, which is the name of the tree that's the what gives the red undertone for Doronome. The second one is sharinbai plus mud, and the other one is sharinbai plus mud max, something like that. Doromax. Doromax. So the Doromax is the darkest brown gray kind of color, and the middle color is more red, like kind of like a brick color. That is actually, to me, the closest one to the actual color of the dye we saw from sharinbai. But the lightest color, which is the sharinbai, is like kind of like a pinkish color, like a muted. It's gonna go to the website to show people.
Right, muted pink kind of color, and that color actually is dyed with sharinbai tree dye. And then the mordant they use for this is what is the word? Aluminium.
Aluminium.
So they call it like
aluminum.
They call it like, so the chemical wise, like the composition wise, it's a aluminum. But I think what they do, they call it like a burnt aluminum, or like kind of like a baked aluminum in Japanese. And so it's I'm actually not so sure about the potential process of this, but it is a mordant that they use when you don't want to kind of add color to it. So this one is kind of like true to the color of the dye that comes from the tree, though it looks much lighter, but obviously when you use the dye, like the outcome is usually a little lighter.
Okay. So 6487 says oxidization states of iron, probably. So sulfite and sulfate would make sense.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's called calcined alum.
Okay.
Or burnt alum in English. So that's the one that they use to kind of not add any colors. And so those are mordants like that. And then I'm not sure what other ones. I think there's like another one that I learned, but I'm blanking on it.
It'll come to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Steven says, hi, any chance of doing a silk and Suvin cotton heavyweight t-shirt? Well, I will say that that particular blend isn't in the works. When you ask me if there's a chance, the chance is not 0, but it's not in the works. But wait till you see what we have for you with silk. Just wait, guys.
Yes, we're planning on using silk. What you think you know about silk, throw it out. I feel like an infomercial guy. Throw it out the window, and then it's gonna cut to a thing where you're throwing all your silk clothes out the window. Don't throw clothes out of the window. Yeah, don't do that. But it's gonna be something special, very unexpected, and not what you would think of. If you were to think of a silk t-shirt, this is not what you are going to think of. So I don't know. It's how you sell it, because people like silk. Yes, but they're gonna like this better. Well, it's just like we always find a very interesting application of things, and we were very interested in this. Application. Let's just say that. There we go. Rugged Sartorial says, your brand is teaching me the virtue of patience. It's because we talk about stuff. It's like I talk about it maybe it's not right, but like I talk about stuff way too in advance. We don't have patience. I have no patience. It's not like an Apple, like, you got to keep it secret until we got the meeting, and then you got the big event, and it's like, and it'll be ready this Friday at the Apple Store. Like, no, we have no patience for that. It's really amazing if you think about it. Like everybody that's involved in the development of that is just like, right. I mean, obviously there's leaks here and there, but like, it's incredible. Like, I'm excited. I want to talk about it now. Like, maybe things don't pan out, but we'll get to that one. Then I'll talk about it not panning out. They're sometimes used to that, things we talk about that doesn't actually come true. Like my giant Snowy, I still want to do it. I want to build a giant testament to Snowy in here. Well, how many times we teased like our new office is gonna be here, and then it wasn't there. Right. Then we came here. It's true. It's a treat to be brought along the journey. Nice and educational every week. Well, thank you, Mr. BD. Thank you very much. Shangsa says, Bahzad doesn't like keeping secrets. I have no capacity to keep secrets. I am a blabbermouth. Like, if I would be the easiest spy. Like, they either to capture me, tell us all the secrets. Sure. Like, we're not. You know what I mean? We don't have to torture you or anything. Nah. Why make our lives harder? Let's
let's just get this done with. Do I get to go home after this?
It's also like amazingly difficult, especially if we were to like, just keep doing this, like 2-hour live stream every week with things that we need to keep like a lid on. Like it's gonna be so complicated.
Very much so. Yeah, Stephen Kogelkamp, for Bahzad, a secret is just a story that hasn't been told yet. Yeah, basically. Yeah. And everyone's guessing what it's going to be. Guys, don't guess. Don't worry. Don't worry. We got
We'll show you when we have something to show you.
Yeah, but it's in the works. Silk is in the works. And that, anyway, we're working on some very summary things. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to work on that.
Yeah, that's a big task this week. So we've just to wrap up sort of what we've been doing in the last couple of weeks. I mean, you've read the newsletter, but we got a lot of so the upcoming release, which we're going to show you all the products that are coming up, that we were able to ship out to all of our retail partners, and everyone's getting ready for that release, which is going to happen next Sunday, and the release will happen at 8 p.m. Eastern on our website, and we'll start the live stream at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So 30 minutes before the release, we will start the live stream. So it's going to start a little bit earlier than our usual time slot, but we'll be here to answer your questions and all that stuff. And then the release will happen at 8 p.m. So I'm just going to take you to the website right now. So if you scroll down to upcoming release retailer availability right at the bottom of the website, so you start over here, you scroll all the way down. This is going to give you the breakdown of all the retailers, every retailer that we sell to, and who's getting what. So if you're in Taiwan, you know that Blue Beach Denim's got the Super Looper crewneck pullover, the Super Looper crewneck sweatshirt in the burgundy and the Sumi black. This is what they're getting in the pullover hoodie, and these are the ultimate Pimas that they're getting. So a pretty full lineup, not everything, but pretty full. And you can shop locally, you could shop the same country, whatever it is. Now you know who's getting what. And every retailer on this list will probably have a slightly different release time. I don't know all their release times, but if Sunset Star is your guy, those are the people you shop with, maybe follow them on Instagram. They'll announce it, follow their newsletter, whatever it is. So their times are going to vary, but it's good to know if there's something you particularly want. It's good to know when people are releasing stuff. And also if we sell out on something on our website, just go over here, click on their website. Maybe it went up and nobody noticed it yet. You can snatch it from over there. So we try to make sure that everybody knows where everything's coming from. So that's been very, very big for us this week. Just sort of getting all that stuff, or like in the last couple of weeks, getting all that stuff out to everybody. Then we were in booking season. So we were booking fall, winter 26. A lot of the production end, like in terms of like how much fabric we're producing, that stuff got booked a long time ago. But now we had to book with our retailers. Here's the new samples. And, we showed you some of those items like the Grandrel FoxFibre t-shirt, things like that. So we wrapped that up basically this morning.
But this week we're gonna find out if some things are actually overbooked versus like what we already put in the order for.
Yeah. So that could happen.
That's very interesting. We'll see. And then we've just been getting stock in recently. So just building up for the next release. So our warehouse is getting a little packed again. This week, we got to do some photos of the new stuff that's coming out. So just, some stuff to have on the social media to, let the social media people. Not everybody follows the live stream and the newsletters. They get their information from Instagram. So we try to have a little bit of information everywhere. So that's going to be keeping us busy. We've got Spring Summer 27 to sort of finalize a lot of details that we're going to be working on this week, including we got to get the wife Respector, and it will be called a wife Respector. We respect all our wives in Wonderlooper land, individually. I mean, if you have multiple wives, whatever. Don't do it.
You know what? I'm not going to judge.
Don't do it.
Just, it's not for me, but hey, if you figured it out, good for you guys. The other day, somebody wrote me an email and was like, they received their package and they're like, my 30-something children are really envious of what I got. And I read it and I'm like, you have 30 children? And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then I'm like, oh no,
30
children are 30 somethings, like they're
aged children.
And I was like, oh, and then I'm like, bro, when you wrote me that, I was like, you have 30 kids? Like, that's an impressive number. That's an impressive number. So anyways, that's going to be keeping us busy this week. So you'll see some Instagram posts of the upcoming release, and then we're going to just finally like fine tune the last bit of Spring Summer 27 so we can get moving on that for sample production. Hopefully samples will be, I don't know. According to the industry, we should have samples in June.
It's not gonna happen. It's April.
That's right.
It's
It ain't happening. So anyhow, sooner than later. But let's talk. I'm gonna pull the samples for everything that's coming out this next Sunday. Sunday. Okay.
This Super Looper release is confusing us, so it must be very confusing to you guys, and I apologize for that. Hopefully next year we can do a little bit more organized release, like maybe by color or maybe by fit, not like, just patchwork of things. But yeah, I think the next batch is gonna be our last batch where we release everything that hasn't been released so far. So I think we're gonna wait till everything is in, and once they're in, like, we just release everything all at once, so it's easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I won't get one of everything, but I think we'll get the gist of it. Okay.
Yeah.
1 second. Keep it.
When can we see a sample for the life respectors? It's gonna be a while. It's a new fit. New fit always takes a long time. The fabric samples might be available sooner than later, but you know us. We just take as long as it takes to get the thing ready. But even the fall shirts, like, we still don't have the samples of the work shirt that we kind of teased a couple weeks ago, and that should be coming in soon. But the fall is literally around the corner, and we still don't even have a full, like, proper sample. So that's the timing that we're working with. But we'll make sure that it's good, and the fit is what we're happy with and everything. It's the same thing that happened with Super Looper sweatpants. So sweatpants for Super Looper, it was the first season that we did it, and to be fair, the fit is the continuing fit, the same fit of our sweatpants fit, but we worked to get the basically to please everybody that we can with the elastic bottoms and, like, what do you call it, tighter bottoms. And we after many trial and error, we came we came very close to what we envisioned it to be, which is the elastic tie bottom, where you can wear it straight if you want to, you can tighten up, and you can put your feet through without adjusting each time.
This is kind of funny. 6487 says, no, either wife respector or partner puncher, right? Because, partner puncher is sort of like, it makes it more gender neutral, right? We're not encouraging violence, but I get it. It's like, it seems like a funny update to the wife beater. So, hey, we're not just beating up wives now. Wives can beat up their husbands too. Again, all jokes. We're in wife respector land in terms of this naming. But
wife is very
Yeah, I guess
it's so old school.
I don't know. We respect my stance is we respect wives. That's it. Anyways, I'm sure we're gonna get. It's fun. I like the name. It sounds.
I haven't. I'm going to be wearing it, and I don't have a wife, but
correct.
I'm allowed to wear it.
Yeah. There you go. It's reset approved. So there you go. On behalf of all women,
I approve.
She approved. Done. See?
That's it.
On behalf of Japan.
That's all that it takes. Approved.
Done. See? There you go. A real, authentic Japanese woman approved it. It's good. It's good to go. Okay. that said, let's talk about what's coming. So we have a plethora of things coming out. Pullover hoodies and crew necks in the Super Looper sweatshirts. In the crew neck, we're going to have the burgundy. We're going to have black. Black's in the bag. And then we're going to have heather gray. You know the heather gray color. So 3 crew neck sweatshirts are coming. And then we have pullover hoodies in, just put that there, the varsity green, the heather gray, which you can see here, and then the orange and the purple. So any of these, we'll get some good photos up so you can really see the color. But it's sometimes hard to tell, but there's because these have been rinse washed, it basically took like the saturation down a few points, and so it does have a bit. Again, it might show up too saturated here on the screen, but it has a little bit of like a
Vintage.
like a gray cast, something just over it that gives it a little bit of like that vintagey feel. So I'm very happy with the way that came out, but it does sometimes look a little punchy on the screen.
Yeah,
but,
same thing with purple, I think. Yeah.
But anyhow, I don't think you will be upset in terms of like the way the color came out. I think you'd be very happy.
Yeah.
And then we have the 3 colors of the Ultimate Pima coming here. So that's the Ecru. 4 colors of Ultimate Pima. We've got the Ecru, and then we have khaki green and white and black. So these are all new. This is the new batch. This is all pre-rinsed, rinse, washed, pre-shrunk. So these are all coming. They're all great. They feel fantastic. Take a close look at that new label, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also notice that the Ecru also has a little bit of it's a slight contrast in tone from the body to the rib on the neck. So there's just you might notice it. I mean, you will notice it, but it does have a little bit of a contrast there, whereas the other ones are a little bit more solid in tone. But that's it. Those are the things to know about these. If you have questions, of course, you can send us an email. Read the product copy. It's all there. But yeah, that's it.
Next week.
Yeah. So that orange looks like it belongs in an apple pie. See? Sabrina knows. Steve McCoble says Reset can respect herself. Indeed you do. Okay, so that's going to be the release. Follow the newsletter. We have all the release customer information out there. So if you're looking for something, you should be able to get it. On our shelves right now, I would say that they've been in stock for a while, but there aren't too many gaps.
I think the sweatpants might be
a little gappy. Anyhow,
but
that's not for this release. That's not for this release. So let's not talk about that too much.
Sorry, I got confused.
See, we still get confused.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we have the sweatpants in the warehouse right now. They're not on the website. They're not part of this release, but people be shopping. Can't stop it. I'm trying to come up for a contingency plan for that already. Risa's giving me that look.
Well, it's
okay. It's okay. We're gonna figure it out. Everyone will be happy. That's the bottom line.
There's always somebody who's not happy.
I'm trying to think. Trying to think of like the most okay. Shout out to this guy. Just before we get into snack time, I just want to shout out. I think I got the angriest customer I've ever had.
Yes.
And like,
yes,
it was like. This guy's got the award so far. This is the best email. Maybe you're watching. Probably not. I'm just probably not. So I get an email, and it was a simple, hi, I'm interested in the black double heavyweight t-shirt. When is it coming back in stock? Simple, normal request, right? I get this request every day. Hi, thank you so much for your email. Interest in our products, yada, yada. The black double heavyweight t-shirt is not available right now, but it will be restocked in June. If you are interested, we also have a Sumi black, which is a similar color. It's just like a faded black version of that in the exact same fabric. We also have the ELS recycled cotton slub t-shirt in black coming in the next few weeks. Maybe this week. Coming soon. It's a little bit lighter than the double heavyweight, but still a heavyweight t-shirt, and a lot more breathable, especially as we're getting to the warmer season. It might be something you might want to consider. So you asked me when the black t-shirt's coming back. I told you when it's coming back. Here's some other alternatives that are good alternatives. Suggestions,
Not
right?
a pushy suggestion.
Yeah.
It's just like if you
just something to consider, right? If you're interested in our releases, sign up for our newsletter, follow us on social media. We update people with our release schedule there, right? The answer, yeah, right. It was basically like, yeah, right. I'm not a sucker. Like if I'm gonna spend that much money on a t-shirt, I'm gonna get the one I want. And I'm like, oh yeah, yes. Yeah, correct.
Great.
And then he's like, I'm not a sheep. I'm not gonna follow your anything. And if I remember in June, then maybe I'll give your t-shirt a try or something to that degree. I'm paraphrasing.
He was so offended.
But I was like, I just sat there like, I'm like, I don't know what I did. Like, what did I do? Like, I wasn't pushy. I was just like, this is a standard email that I send everybody, and most up until now, everyone's usually been like, okay, thanks. I'll keep that in mind. But this one was like, I will not keep that in mind. And
not in like a emphasis on the not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He italicized the not in order to just be like,
phone is running here. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Ignore the phone. Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was mwah.
It's like if you were to be like, a comedy sketch or something where like this person's just offended by everything.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like it's so extreme.
And I'm just, yeah, I thought that was a good one.
At the same time, maybe he had the worst day of his life. I don't know.
I'll leave that to a possibility. I'm just saying that even like sometimes I can get even humor out of like something like this at the very least.
Yeah.
And man, I'm not trying to. If you are watching, I'm not trying to scam you. Nobody here is trying to scam you. We're just offering suggestions, and I would say that if anybody is ever having a bad day and you're writing an email, write the email. Just don't hit the send button. Give that a minute. Just give it a minute. Sometimes I gotta write nasty things because it's in my head, and I'm like, this is a very frustrating situation, and then I delete it. I just hit the delete button because now it's out of my system and it's gone. I don't need to deal with that. And we got a shipment coming in.
All right,
okay, so you know what? Maybe we need to wrap things up because I gotta help unpack some boxes. Hey, it's the shipment day. What can I say? Guys, we were gonna do snack time, but I think I need to handle this. It's a little more important than snack time. I know you all love it, but I gotta help with these boxes. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Reese is starting to help out over here. I'm gonna say goodbye. Oh, okay, that's good. Maybe we can do snack time then. The Raven says, working retail, you just have interactions where people get mad out of nowhere, and it leaves you dumbfounded every time. Yes, it's I know. I've got a. Yeah. We'll do the drink. I'll say it like this. I've been in retail a long time, and I've got a pretty thick skin for most things. Even unreasonable requests, I definitely try to I do my best to accommodate. Like if we're in reality, if you're trying to return a mountain bike to me, and I don't sell mountain bikes, there comes a point where I'm like, I just can't help you in this situation. But we try our best to help people. So anyhow, there you go. If you are that was just something that hit me this week. I thought I'd share it. It's kind of funny. So now we can get into snack time. We do have a minute here. We've got the newest cola that Japan has to offer, called Nope Cola. It is if you come to Japan right now, this is like the biggest marketing campaign.
Really pushing it hard.
Like it is everywhere. Like you cannot miss this. You can't miss this soda. You can't miss the ads for this soda. They're pushing it like crazy.
So there's 99 seductive fruits and spices.
Seductive.
Well, I don't know if seductive is the right translation.
Let's just stick with seductive.
And the subtitle of this Nope Cola is Guilty guilty soda.
Yeah. So basically, they're like, if you're gonna have a soda, you might as well enjoy the soda. So there's a lot of sugar and a lot of caffeine in here.
Yeah. So, because I mean, like a lot of the soda drinks out there nowadays is like, oh, this is sugar free or this is caffeine free or all kinds of things good for your stomach health, whatever.
Right.
But
this is promising nothing.
Yeah.
Except
like,
for having a good time.
Yeah.
So
enjoy it.
It's just a good time from the good people at the Suntory.
Yeah.
I think it's a cola.
It's a soda. I mean, it does have spice in the name, so
right.
It's like, I would imagine it's cola-esque.
It looks bigger than most Coke bottles. I'll get
600 milliliters.
Yeah, it's 600 ml.
I don't want to, wash the cup.
Okay, right.
For this.
No problem.
Share.
We're going to share.
Yeah.
We share.
I'm just too lazy.
No problem. I got it. We're going to crack this open. All right.
Somebody is asking, is it good?
It smells like grape a little bit.
What kind of smell is this? It smells like a blueberry.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It has a berry kind of smell to it. Hold on.
Wyatt's here.
A wild Wyatt has appeared. There you go. Okay, wait. Let's try it. It's got a hard, carbonated bites to it.
It's not bad.
The flavor is not cola.
It's like a more fruity.
Yeah, it's fruity taste. It's kind of, you know what? It kind of reminds me of a Hawaiian punch. Like if you ever had what's that brand? With
the pouch.
Yeah, the pouch. It's got the weird looking cartoon character guy. It reminds me of Hawaiian punch.
Yeah, it does. It does have that like a very candy like flavor.
It's very fruity. Yeah. I can't put my finger on it in terms of like what fruit it's supposed to be.
It's just a mix of fruit.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, there's 99 fruits and spices.
Yeah,
so.
But it is, I can taste some cherry in there. I can taste a lot of different things in there.
It tastes like a gum that I used to have.
It's kind of interesting because it really it keeps you guessing in terms of like, what is this supposed to be?
There's some guarana in it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's all bad caffeine.
Tahiti treat. It's what I can say is I don't think this cola is gonna last beyond the people trying it.
Yeah, and also like if they market it more specifically, like with the flavor that they're kind of focusing on. Yeah, it's just too ambiguous.
Yeah, I think the idea that here's sort of a mystery soda, it gets you intrigued, and like obviously I bought one. And it worked.
Yeah, but that's one-time purchase.
Right, but am I going back for this? I think it's a fine soda. Maybe I would buy it again. But like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm also in the like 0-calorie soda world these days.
I mean, yeah, we're be drinking this
but
time, but
it is good. It is tasty.
And it kind of tastes like a restaurant served it with like their original, soda recipe, craft soda kind of thing in the glass,
Right.
The glass. Then maybe it sounds like it doesn't.
It doesn't taste fancy.
It doesn't taste fancy, but it is kind of like it's not a bad drink.
No,
you can enjoy that drink with,
It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine. It's not a bad soda. It's not toppling any of the giants like Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola or any of that stuff.
Capri Sun.
Yeah, it's not it's got a fun logo, I guess.
Yeah. It's kind of catchy, but
Nope. You want Nope soda? I don't know. The weird is the name is a little not sure. Anyhow, I bought one. If you come to Japan, you see one. You get it because you gotta try it. You gotta try the Nope soda. It's worth a try. It's
not gonna be here in months, I don't think.
Yeah. So who knows what they'll hit us with next. But I do like the idea of mystery soda. Keeps you guessing. I like it.
I want to answer though. Like when sometimes we did the Fanta mystery flavor, unless there's an answer, I don't want to participate. I don't want to be wondering for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of like the ambiguity. Anyhow, this is gonna get a 2 thumbs up from me. You should get it. You should try it. You know, my professional review, says that it's a fine soda, but it is not a takeover. It's not changing the industry. Yeah, that's
a good observation.
So there you go. Yeah, the name is kind of lame, but it sounds tasty. The Raven says. Yeah, it's I don't know about the name. Maybe it's the young people would like it a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely we're not the target market for this.
No. So an indulgence cola. There you have it. All right, everybody. We're going to leave it there. Wyatt's here. Say hi, Wyatt.
Hello.
Wave to the people. Smile for the people.
Can they see me?
Yeah, they can see your outfit.
From here?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Of course. We got a camera. It's got great dynamics. You know, you can see all the way. There you go. 2 thumbs up from Wyatt, everybody. We're going to get your packages from this weekend out the door to you, delivered hopefully by Wednesday to many of you out there. Real fast shipping. And thank you so much for tuning in. We got some stuff to do. Thanks for tuning in. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to somebody. Do something nice for yourself and do something nice for somebody else.
Yes. Have a nice rest of Sunday.
There you go. Right.
You're on Sunday.
Bye.